Welcome back to Exotic Car Play Place, everybody. Thanks for joining in again. Today we are going to do a review on arguably one of the finest modern sporty coupes. Let's get into the whole discussion about the new Jaguar F Type R. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mark with Exotic Car Play Place. And so let's talk about some of the great, interesting features of these cars. Do you know this whole panel that runs all the way along is one-piece aluminum? That's right, one-piece aluminum. They are doing things like that to now improve the structural rigidity of the car. So some other great features: Z-rated rubber on top of 20-inch rims. As well, tucked under the bonnet of this wonderful car is a 5-liter supercharged V8 that produces at least 550 horsepower. So how about the front end of these cars? These great new Jaguar F Types really do look sharp. They got this aggressive spoiler, LED headlights, vents on the hood. The whole car is themed to look very aggressive, almost like some of the E-Types way back in history. The back end is really arguably one of the most appealing angles of these cars. We have the quad exhaust tips, and look at the flares on this car. From a distance, it almost looks 911-ish, but believe me when I say these cars look very, very aggressive in person with these massive flares, the cut-off rear tail, and honestly, one of the most beautiful designs in modern car history. And so with that said, let's go for a ride and see how this little kitty purrs. Enjoying the lavish interior here. We've got leather throughout. We've got leather everywhere here in this particular car. This car here actually features the carbon roof, which is an option, quite a pricey option I might add as well, from the panoramic glass you would normally get as a standard option in this car. This is such a nutty car that I've never experienced anything quite like this. It's crazy in the corners. It actually allows you to push this car like a muscle car, but with the Euro flavor. And that's what makes this thing so special. It's put together, bolted together like a European car, but you can chuck it around like a muscle car. And it puts such a smile on the face. I don't think I've had this much fun since the last time I was on that roller coaster at Disneyland. This is actually a spectacular car to drive. You can't ignore the sounds, the popping, the snapping of all the exhaust tones that come out of this thing. But you definitely can't ignore the thrust that you get with this car in a straight line. It is amazing. So you get in the straights and you hit the on-ramp. Holy! Now, the one thing that I don't care for in this car really, and I'll just say it, is the stop-start feature. And I know every car maker these days operates that way. They're trying to be a little easier and softer on the environment. These cars aren't that great on fuel, obviously. With a V8 that's supercharged, it's not going to be a fuel miser. So this car here does guzzle. And so Jag's doing their thing here to try to reduce that. And they're doing that by using the stop-start feature for times that you're not actually running. You might be stuck at a set of lights. Unfortunately, number one, that's kind of an obnoxious feature. Number two, it's not exactly compensating for all that much when you can't resist but getting on the throttle full steam. Every time you hit that gas, there goes the gas out the window. The fuel mileage is crap on these things, and I know they're trying to compensate. But now the beauty of this car, obviously you have a dynamic feature. You have two modes here for your exhaust tone. One tone you can run on they close the baffles on the exhaust. And the other setting, you have the baffles wide open, which give you that snarly noise that you can hear. So if I activate this, quietens it up, you can barely hear the exhaust. It actually sounds more like a normal large engined luxury car. Here, I'm running, you can barely hear that. However, if you change it and open the baffles, dynamic mode, now you get it back. And that's what I love. It's this Jekyll and Hyde effect you get with this car. You have the full luxury that you would expect from a Jaguar, but you actually have an outrageous sound and stiffness that you can get in a serious muscle car or almost in an exotic sports car. This car does everything so well. It's crazy in a nutty kind of way. It rips your shorts off your backside there when you're accelerating in the corners. And it looks very stout and aggressive with the rear flares and the haunch. This car does not lack anything in the way of looks either. It looks very sexy, slightly longer front end on it, rear haunches, the beautiful exhaust tips on this thing, a rear spoiler that does deploy at speed. This thing has everything that you would ask for. So sometimes life's way too short to drive boring cars, and even though these may not be the most dependable cars on the market, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind there's times when you just have to step up and drive something that really motivates the passion in you and the burn and the yearn to drive something exciting. So again, as always, everybody, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I really hope you check out these cars. The new F Type R, it's a beautiful thing. Please subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.